What is going on, people? TripleM back again with another video. It's daily dose of football content, and tonight I want to talk about Arsenal as they emerge the victors in a big game against Liverpool. Honestly, a season-defining performance by Arsenal Football Club, which sees them stay top of the table and sees them beat Klopp's Liverpool. Now, before I talk about the game itself, the reason why I was so excited to watch this game as a neutral, and the reason why it was one of the most eagerly anticipated games of the season, was because of the narrative. You've got two clubs in completely contrasting spells of form. On the one hand, you have Liverpool, who are massively underperforming. Liverpool, who haven't looked great this season. And despite only losing one game before playing Arsenal, they just have been absolutely poor. They've put in a lot of abject performances, genuinely lethargic, just lack of effort, lack of passion, and lack of cohesion, lack of the rhythm that we've come to know and expect under Jurgen Klopp. So they've massively underachieved. And then on the other hand, you've got Arsenal, who have massively overachieved, who've exceeded all expectations. Even the most positive of Arsenal fans have said, wow, I didn't expect us to be this good. I didn't expect us to actually be top of the table come mid-October. And you're damn right. Nobody expected it because they are so good. Now, in terms of the actual performance itself, scintillating, dramatic, entertaining, everything you could want in a game of football. You also had a bit of a tactical battle going on because Arsenal didn't play with their typical high line. Arsenal weren't naive. Arsenal weren't oblivious to Liverpool's pace on the break. In fact, in the first half, they played a very good offside trap. I believe Darwin Núñez was caught offside 3 or 4 times. Luis Diaz was caught offside at least once, I think, as well in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So they were prepared. They were prepared. And despite conceding 2 goals, you could say that Arsenal did enough to see out the game, in my humble opinion. Like, Liverpool were only really able to create maybe 3 or 4 really high quality chances in comparison to Arsenal's 4 or 5. I would say, right? Like, I think that's fair. And the reason why I think Arsenal were the better team today is not necessarily because of possession, because obviously Liverpool dominated possession for majority of the game, but it's what they did when they had possession. They were not hesitant. They were not afraid. They were confident. They were sure. They knew exactly what they needed to do. There wasn't a moment in today's game where I thought, ooh, he's out of position, or ooh, he shouldn't be there, or ooh, what is this player doing there whilst Arsenal on the ball? At all times, their plan was very, very clear. It was very, very clear. Play out wide, and if you can't go out wide, come through the middle and basically just look for space in behind. Use the ability of Gabriel Jesus to hold up the ball, dribble through tight spaces. Martinelli as well was excellent today in terms of moving through and navigating tight spaces. He was pivotal in Arsenal's performance. I mean, you could say the man of the match was Bakayoko Saka, but for me personally, I think Martinelli was the unsung hero for Arsenal today because there were so many moments today where he held up the ball incredibly well, and it gave Arsenal an opportunity to regroup and set up like off the ball and prepare themselves for potential counter-attack. You could say the same about Gabriel Jesus. There was a couple of times where he dropped extremely deep, almost into Arsenal's own half, to get the ball and distribute it up the field and start and initiate a counter-attack, which is pretty impressive. And not only was he able to initiate the counter-attacks, but he was able to get on the end of his own counter-attack, which he started, which is really impressive. Really, really impressive. He was also able to win a handful of free kicks. I can't remember who won the penalty. I'm not sure if it was Gabriel Jesus or not, but either way, it was a well-taken penalty by Saka. He also had a fantastic performance today. He was a thorn in the side of Liverpool. Him and Martinelli just made that Liverpool defense look like an elementary level defense. They were magnificent. Also, shout out to Granit Xhaka today. He was basically playing as a number 10 today because I didn't really notice Xhaka in Arsenal's half. Most of the time, he was in Liverpool's half, damn near in their box, trying to make things happen. Yeah, I saw him at left back a couple of times, actually, so I lie. I did see him in Arsenal's half. I saw him at left back a couple of times covering for was it Tomiyasu who played at left back? I think it was Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu drifted out of position a couple of times, and Xhaka, in typical fashion, was there to cover for him. But I think the highlight of Xhaka's performance was not his positioning defensively, but rather what he offered going forward. The fact that he was able to navigate the half space so well. He was able to time his runs at the right and appropriate time. He never really mistimed runs. He never really made any glaring mistakes. It's almost the complete opposite of what the media has portrayed Granit Xhaka to be in recent years at Arsenal. So it was just a fantastic performance. Thomas Partey, resolute, an absolute pillar to Arsenal's midfield and Arsenal's team. Very, very important. Underrated. The fact that Xhaka can go forward is not just to do with playing with inverted fullbacks and other systematic things. It's also to do with the fact that they have a player like Thomas Partey in the team. You remove Thomas Partey from Arsenal and you realize Xhaka's back to playing in a double pivot as a deep lying midfielder again. And we're back to the Granit Xhaka of old, who's getting red cards every other week, who's making huge mistakes leading to goals or leading to corners or, compromising situations for Arsenal. That's the Granit Xhaka we get if Thomas Partey is not in that Arsenal team at the moment. So shout out to Thomas Partey, man. He's locking that position down. We all know he's going to get injured inevitably, but for the time being, he's playing really well. And he's a big part of Arsenal's performances. Not really much else to say about Arsenal. I mean, Saliba doing Saliba type things. Cool, calm, collected. Cooler than an ice cube's piss. I don't really have anything to say about Gabriel. In fact, I prefer not to speak on Gabriel before you guys start saying I have an agenda. So we'll leave it there. Talking about Liverpool, Darwin Núñez had a good game. Darwin Núñez had a good game despite being caught offside more times than I can count. He was part of the reason that Liverpool had any sort of threat in the game today. It was unfortunate that Diaz got taken off so early, but in hindsight, you could say that Firmino coming on was a blessing in disguise because not only did he score the second goal, but him playing behind Darwin Núñez kind of gave Liverpool a different dimension. Jota playing out wide again gave Liverpool a new dimension. It gave them a little bit something that Arsenal perhaps didn't prepare for. Despite the fact that Luis Diaz has been such an important player for Liverpool, and we all know what his abilities are, I don't think he's been that good. I don't think he's been that good. At least not today. Let me not say in general, because I don't watch Liverpool every week. I'm a United fan. Plus, Liverpool haven't been that great this season anyway. So there really is no reason for me to keep tabs on Liverpool. If they were still entertaining, if they were still second place, pushing, Man City to the title, then maybe we can talk. But since Liverpool have been rubbish this season, and I'm a United fan, I have no reason to watch them and no interest in watching them at all. But I've got nothing else to say. Van Dijk looks terrible. Matip, he wasn't awful, but when you concede 3 goals at the Emirates, you can't really say he had a decent performance, if you know what I mean. He did make a few good defensive reads. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals, not that I can remember anyways. I think it was the people around him. Matip has probably been Liverpool's best defender this season, and that's probably an understatement. I mean, Trent was awful today. Trent was awful. I don't believe the nonsense about people saying that Trent isn't a footballer and that he should be playing in League 2. I think that's pushing it. I think that Trent is good enough to play in the Premier League. I just think that he needs a position change. I genuinely think he needs a position change. Trent is giving me Gareth Bale vibes. When I was growing up, Gareth Bale used to play for Tottenham. For those of you who might not know, I'm guessing there might be some people born in the late 2000s who watch my videos. But Gareth Bale, believe it or not, used to play for Tottenham and he was a fullback. So when I was growing up, I saw him transition into a winger. One of the best wingers I've seen play football. Made some very good memories for Real Madrid in the Champions League. And I think the same thing needs to happen to Trent. I think Trent is capable of reaching the levels that Gareth Bale was able to reach with Real Madrid if he's allowed to really become an attacking player and not this nonsense of him playing as a fullback, but being so good going forward. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I'm just thinking out loud at the end of this video. Let me know what you think of the game down in the comments down below if you want to. Leave a like in the video if you want to support the channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm going to go watch Manchester United now. Hopefully we don't lose to Everton. And hopefully I can make a positive reaction later on this evening. Man, fingers crossed we don't lose to Everton, because I actually have a bad feeling. Despite the fact that I tweeted that I was confident about this Everton game, I have a bad feeling about United tonight. I don't know why. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we win tonight. Anyways, peace.